Remember that. Remember that when you go to your bank account, you see that paycheck come in from this week. Remember that. And I hope it haunts you. All of us here aren't getting any paychecks. You guys still comfortable at home.
Bring your shoes with you. I love it. That's what this line needs. Some music.
Beautiful animal.
I know, right?
I wouldn't call him brother just yet.
Whatever, he's still human. Still human. We're on the other, he's doing a job that I wouldn't want to do, I'll tell you that much.
You wouldn't do that.
No, you're right, most certainly I wouldn't.
No matter how much money.
Although I do love law and order. I think law and order is a good thing. We all need that. We all need law and order, that's for sure.
He said, I don't need to negotiate my own place.
I just wonder who you're taking orders from. Wouldn't you wonder who the orders are coming from?
I'd wonder.
I would. I wonder who the orders are coming from and whether or not it's of the benefit of the people that we serve, yeah.
Made it very clear.
Question. Country guys.
You don't need to come to this. You don't need to come to horses.
You know, I'll just call this. Strangers like a movie.
It's only illegal if you disagree with Trudeau. Hey, take a look at your boss, man. He's not doing the right thing by you guys. So that means
Just keep it simple.
How you doing? Yeah, you know what?
These two up on the roof. Been there all day. Guys up here, look. There they are. See him? Oh, there. There, sorry. No, there. There, yeah.
I like horses though.
What the hell that was? Why did they move in and move out? I wish I was better on my intel.
Lose your job! Lose your job!
We all do.
Yeah.
Are you live?
I'm so.
Yeah, Jimbo! Looking for me to be live. So hello, Brian. You're welcome. We are.
Yeah, we are safe from last year in Ottawa. We're having so much fun. We kicked Linda's ass and we were not going to lie.
Oh, you did not.
Yes, we did. She took advantage. She was a little tired and overwhelmed. We're good. It's okay.
Oh boy, so you guys look like you're having too much fun to be at a protest.
On the other hand, oh, just a little bit.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I don't
See,
think
they're
it's-
having fun.
I don't think it's a sin going to a protest, and it's certainly not illegal. We've figured that one out soon enough now, haven't we? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight as we're going to be going through some of the Freedom Convoy footage. And are you ready? Are you ready? Here you go. Shane, how are you, buddy?
Not too bad, Jim. Can you hear me all right?
All right, I can. So,
Beautiful.
Shane, we're gonna get to know Shane together here. He is, hey man, I can't see your face. I can only see your arms. It's
All right,
okay
hold on.
because
Remember,
you
I'm
got.
not a technological genius. I had my wife set all this up for me.
It's all good, buddy. You know that it does not require any kind of technical expertise.
Can you see me now?
You look great, brother.
Thanks. Beautiful. Thank you.
You look great. Hey, where do you hail from, man? Where do you live?
Belleville, Ontario.
Wow. Now I heard a scary thing about Belleville today. There's a lot of like a emergency declaration or something based on overdoses or something. Is that correct?
This is basically the majority of the information I'd be able to attain, not just from, well, again, here we go with the media, but also through my friends and people I know, because I used to do the downtown scene a lot, bars and stuff. So I know a lot of the people, and you got to learn again, of course, word is just word without any factual basis to prove it up. But you get the census. People I know personally have been passing away because of this. So you start to pay attention, and it is pretty much sounds like this is exactly what's happening. But there's been the census that it's all been because of one type of drug. Well, it is, but not exactly in that aspect. It is word is, and the majority of the population that I personally have spoke to, which, let's be honest, does not speak for the population. It's pretty much all coming back to fentanyl. That's pretty much the census we're all kind of. Yes, fentanyl, but not on its own. Exactly. Yes, there's fentanyl users that are going down. There's cocaine users that are going down. There's crystal meth users that are going down because all this stuff's been laced, and you know how they work, which personally to me never made any sense why you would want to kill off your customer base no matter what your business is. But at the same time,
I'm not sure either, Shane, but I do understand that there, depending on where you are in Canada, there's different levels of government involvement.
Yes.
Involved in this safe supply programs and such. So, I don't want to, I don't know myself, so I'm not going to go ahead and comment on it, but I do want to kind of get your background on your thing with the Freedom thing. I mean, when did you hear about the Freedom Convoy?
In all reality, I can't remember the exact time, date, location, all the specifics. And I believe it was originally on my Facebook. I just like to scroll the main page. I'm not like a blabber. I don't talk about things I don't know unless I've been actually involved in it or I have some sort of factual, physical evidence to prove my theory to be true. So I like to scroll Facebook, just mess around the main page and see all the funny stuff and post. Well, every once in a while, I like to pay attention once in a while to the government, just to kind of see what's going on, because I've had these suspicions since I was about 15. Around the time my father passed away, I saw some real negative stuff that made me start paying attention to the things most people just kind of walk by and go, that's the way it is, right? It's just, you got to accept. Well, you don't have to accept it. You got to understand. You got to be able to read between the lines. So I come across this one post, and I can't remember whether it was actually a site or somebody's just personal page or their opinion, but it said something about, the truckers have had enough, along the lines of, they're coming, they're trying to get together, make it happen, blah, blah, blah. So obviously, I'm going to start paying attention to this. Well, then I have a buddy who, he also watches this stuff when he's done working and on his breaks and whatever, and he likes this kind of stuff just as either humor or, maybe some sort of proper intel, but we're also smart enough to read between the lines. When you smell BS, usually it is. So I keep following it, and I'll be honest, I ran across one of your feeds, and I instantly looked and I went, all right, I don't care what's going on, whether he's like one of these guys just trying to get attention or whatever, because you never know anything until you really know something, right? And but I looked and I went, love your style, man. You got my attention already. Because you're wild, man. You're real. You're out there. You just, you're human in the real term of the word. Really, you are, right?
Thank
you're
you,
just, Hey, dude, I'm not lying. I'm not looking for one of those things. Hey, look at me groveling. Let's put this guy on a pedestal. If you deserve it, you get it, and that's all there is to it. So I started following you a little bit, paying attention to some of your feeds, and I just keep noticing.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, this guy's he's saying a lot of things that I've thought about for years. And then the trucker convoy, I don't believe the BS at the beginning. I always try to see what they're trying to hide when a big story comes out. There's something else they're trying to kind of, distraction, right? Sleight of hand stuff. So I start paying attention. Then all of a sudden I'm like, well, you got my attention, man, because like I'm in on this, and I've been that guy that everybody in my life has went, nah, you're crazy. It's not like that. You're the only one I've heard. Well, I'm the only one you've heard in your circle. I can't be the only one alone. So now I think there's people that actually are on the same page as me. You know what I mean? Now I'm starting to feel good instead of feeling like I'm the outsider. Well, then all of a sudden, I saw it on the news. Again, I've always been skeptical. But what gave me the guarantee that I was definitely going to have to do something, no matter what it was I saw the reality and the fear in that man's eyes when he didn't stutter once, he didn't skip, he didn't repeat words, and he didn't go whatever he does to try and think of whatever he can create to try and, disillusion you. When you tell the truth, you don't have to think about it because it happened. It just flows like a natural river. And that's the only time he didn't stutter in any of his announcements, press con. I pay attention to this stuff. I got ADHD, all that other stuff.
Who are you referring to right now, brother?
That guy, I won't call him that because he doesn't deserve that position. I'm sorry. You got to earn that. That's a very prestigious place to be. It's an honorable spot, and he hasn't earned one bit of it, in my personal opinion.
Okay, fair enough. I follow a similar ethos, so I understand. I get it.
You got to earn your keep, man. I'm old school that way. You have to. That's all there is to it.
For sure.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of sleight of hand. There's a lot of misdirection for a bigger purpose that does not benefit the general population as a whole.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about your background, man. What do you do for a living? Like, what kind of jobs have you had?
Well, I just say I'm a jack of all trades. I've done commercial industrial flooring, and keep in mind, I'm not tagged or ticketed in anything. I've got a lot of experience in a whole bunch of different areas and a little bit in others. But I've got experience because you can't gain experience without failure. That's the reality. You can't win all the time, or you don't really experience anything, do you? In its totality.
Yeah.
So I've done commercial industrial flooring, I've done roofing, I've done steel framing, I've done drywall, all the trench work, HVAC stuff, all that stuff. And I've always sat and looked and go, okay, well, why did they get so much goddamn money of mine? I understand there's things have to be done. I do get this. But like, why? Why? They didn't, I never saw them once in this whole time I've been here. So why are they getting my paycheck? And even if they have to, why is it so damn much in the end? Really? Because you don't see anything being done. Really, on a main scale, you see a lot of things happening and a lot of orange shirts everywhere, but usually it's about 7 guys standing around and 1 guy doing the work, and that's the rookie. Realistically, I've been in the construction world, the physical world, my whole life that I've been able to work. I'm on disability now. That leads to another topic. They don't help because guess what? And I hate to say this, and I wouldn't normally, but you want to know what they give certain people? You want to know what the average rent is now because of that wonderful COVID reality that was turned into a huge scam for a bigger purpose that we all know of, and we'll not touch base on that at this point. That allowed everybody to raise the prices of their stuff for no reason whatsoever. Basic house or apartment is like $1,700, $1,500, $1,700.
I'd have to suggest that there were reasons why it went up, and we could talk about those all night long. But you're absolutely right. Things are going up. It is becoming more and more difficult to afford to live in this country, brother. I mean,
right?
For sure.
And they always say they're trying to help, but really, are they really? Because it's kind of the naive, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody, because you only know what you know unless you forced yourself to educate yourself outside your bubble of life. Because everybody's bubble is different, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of open space out there, and there's too many people that have been, we'll say, guided in the direction that where we are now. Let's be honest. I won't get too detailed because, again, we also live in a world where people have been groomed that their problem, their offense, and their opinions supersede somebody else's.
Okay, but hold on. I do need qualifying statements. So
Sorry, my
need,
apologies.
I need to understand. So where are we right now, in your opinion? And when you say we, are you talking about Canada? Are you talking
Yes.
about? Yeah. Okay.
It's always about my country, because I'm a Canadian true and true. I was born here. I know I lived here. I bleed here. Problem is as a whole right now, I believe we're in a failure, 100% failure by the people who are supposed to be helping us guide us along and succeed to become a betterment as a whole society. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. So this is where I'm at. People are speaking out now.
People who are supposed to help us? Who are they? Like, who?
Well, these are the people that have called themselves leaders, that have called themselves the elite, right?
Okay.
They have dubbed themselves that. We never got to vote these people. Like we'll say, obviously we voted government, but we all know how that works in the end. But I mean the people, the corporate elite type of people who have literally, they have classified themselves the elite. They think they're better. They think they have the right to dictate. Fair enough. But unfortunately, that's not reality. You have taken on that for a selfish, greedy purpose of your own in the end. Because look at how many poor people we have in the world. Look at how many things that happen. Look at these people with billions of dollars at their disposal in one way or another. Yes, sure, some have earned it, and I'll give you that. I'll never dispute that. If you earn it, that's great. But we forgot about humanity. We forgot about what it is to care about the guy. Who cares if you don't know that guy beside you? If he's having a bad day and you notice it, check him out, man. See if he's all right. That's what we used to do. That was Canada. We're known for being a nice country. Now we're known for being, well, everything he's portrayed us to be is an absolute varsity. It's false. I don't care what anybody says. We are not him. He is not us.
Well, look at this. Look at this, Shane. I mean, I want you to just take a look at the screen and look at the looks on people's faces. And these people didn't necessarily know one another before they came, but when they got there, they started to see something similar in each other.
Love, respect, and family. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be blood. Your family, your family. We're all family, man. We all have to live in the same area.
All right. So you mentioned this term family. I want to ask you about something. You heard that Tucker Carlson was going to interview Putin.
I have heard about it. I've heard about it. Again, I don't pay attention to the media since the convoy.
No problem. It just happened. And
absolutely.
And I looked through it, and I watched a good portion of the interview, and Putin kept mentioning family, and he kept mentioning family, and what he went into detail to talk about was basically that family and the motherland are two sides to the same coin. If the motherland is not healthy, the family is not healthy. If the family's not healthy, the motherland's not healthy. And I'm looking at this and going, that could be part of what Canada's problem is. Our motherland, Canada, is such a vast country, and we're so spread out, and we don't really know one another, and it can be very cold. I mean, I don't know, man, but I think he was onto something. The idea that that family is important. So,
So can I relate that to a really good saying that I have, and I honestly think this actually holds true for this exact comment in which you're expressing. Yes, the motherland and the people yes, it's all one common goal. It should be happy, both sides. I look at that as like, so what does it take to that? Does one get more? Does one get less? Because it's like the happy wife, happy life theory everybody's heard. I disagree. It's a 50-50 for a happy spouse, happy house. And that's all there is to it.
Oh, wow. I like
that.
You
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that pick the lesser of two evils. I cannot stand those two sayings. I cannot. Because they just do not apply to being a real Canadian, a real decent human being. It's a 50-50. If you want and I want, that doesn't matter. It's what we need. Let's work for it. And we're going to both have to sacrifice, not you benefit over my sacrifice. That doesn't work on either end. So it's happy spouse, happy house, man.
You're talking about win-win scenarios.
Yeah, beneficial for both, where neither side seems to benefit more than the other, and there's no hidden agendas. I get there's always hidden agendas. Let's be realistic, but that's the problem.
Sure,
there's always hidden agendas that do not benefit the whole, right? The entirety of the fight for this agenda to happen, as in the country. If there's always a hidden agenda that only benefits a few, and then they make it seem like we benefit, with words, but really, I've also been raised that actions speak louder than words.
Okay,
I've seen nothing but inaction.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the actions that you've done in defense of your country. Let's
Thank you. Thank you. Now, can I refer to, again, I digress pretty badly. I happen to do that, and I apologize. When you'd asked me what brought my attention to Convoy, and that this relates to that, was you, basically, long story short, you're a star in my eyes because you're real, okay? Not enough people like you out there. I watched you. You had the channel. I literally saw the gas episode, and I went, okay, I've got lawyers in my family. That's illegal, 100%. It's like trying to kick somebody or shut somebody's hydro off in the middle of winter. You can't do that. It's illegal in this country anyways, and definitely in this province. So, okay, hold on. No, this ain't right. Pardon my bad grammatical speech. That's my mother's a teacher. She'd kill me if she heard me say that. I went, all right, enough's enough. Well, I'm talking to my cousin, who happens to be a carny, like I used to be at one point. And she says, listen, I'm going up. And I went, are you kidding me? Keep in mind, I'm vehicleless. I don't have my own vehicle at this time. That's another story. But so I'm going to take I have to go and check it out. So my wife says, you know what? I'm going to give in. Let's go check this out. By the way, you see the sweater? Can you see that? My brothers and sisters of the Convoy, 2022.
Hold on. Let's see the sweater again.
This is hand designed by me. My friend had a print shop. This is what I wore. I had it made between. Can you read that?
What does it say, buddy?
Okay. I don't even have to look at it. Brothers and sisters of the line, or of the Convoy 2022. Right? There's the Convoy 2022, brothers and sisters of the line. Then it's got right here in gold, 2 of these with the gold letters JT. Okay. Now some people might misconceive that. So let me explain. That's not him doing it to us, because that's actually is what he's doing to us. But that's us putting him in between our power that we have and we forgot about. So how about JT? That's what you get from me anyways, personally. Then on the back, it's like a biker's patch. There's room for more. Freedom.
Nice.
All right. Now, I can't remember which side. Okay. Here's the Canadian flag. Can you see it?
Yeah.
The maple leaf. Now, let me explain again. It's Canada saying, again, fuck you.
My
wife and I had them made, and we wore them. Sorry about that. I dropped my earbud. I had them made right after I came back from the convoy and wore them at Rolling Thunder. And we were very, very noticeable. So off of that little digression again, once I saw that, I went, okay, cool. Really? Can we go and check it out? Like a little kid waiting to go to get his favorite present, because my people are here. They finally woke up, which we already have been, but they're finally speaking out. It's about action. It's what it is, because I got to go. We went there for 4 hours, I think, and it was during the second week, because I couldn't, if I could have been in the beginning, I would have been there. Trust me, I would have been there with everything I have. We walked up Metcalf and Slater. We got right up to Wellington, and about half a block, when the crowd was just enough space between them for me to be able to see this beautiful person, man. And all I could see was the back of him, because he was about 6'2" or 6'4" or something. He was huge. Keep in mind, I'm about 5'8". And all I could see was the Canadian flag, like a cape, and camouflage pants, and I think it was flip-flops. And I went, all right, you got my attention. I love it. Well, as I go around him, all I hear, he's holding a sign, free hugs. He's shirtless. Canadian flag, like, you're now a superhero. I don't even know why, but you are, because you are. I don't care. I'm a man. Real man shows emotion. Give a shit who you are out there. I looked right up and went, you're damn right you do. And I hugged this bastard. And I'm telling you, he was the most beautiful bastard I ever seen. Straight up. I didn't get his name because I was just too stoked that I feel like the Canada I grew up in. I was so happy. Everywhere I went, oh my God, Kelly, like Homer Simpson doing the pee dance. Kelly, I have to be here. I have to be here. I don't have a choice. There's just not even a thought in the head. This is me. It may not be me, but this is my purpose, because I've been saying this for 25 years about everything they stand for. My people are here. You can't tell me no. I will walk. I don't care. We got home, and I'm going to tell you right now, my wife and my mother were the only reason I got back up there. My mother gave me $500. I'm broke, disability, right? Not even enough for a 1-bedroom apartment. $500 and says, this is for you. And I went, for what? And my wife says, here's my car keys. Like, I'm tearing up right now thinking about it. And I just went, really? Like, you're joking. Like, this better not be a joke, because this is everything I am. Like, this is me. I've never dedicated, been loyal to anything like this. This is me. I've waited for this. This is my life now showing up, going, here we are. We never should have left. We're back. And Shane, we love you, man. Get the hell over here. So it was decided. That was all there was to it. It was decided. That's it. I'm gone. I love you. I can't believe you guys did this. This is the most amazing thing, better than any gift I've ever had in my life. So I went, okay. Talked to my cousin in the carnival. She says, I'm going. Perfect. I get halfway up there. She says, I can't make it. And I went, I don't care. I don't need to know anybody there. That's where I am. That's me. I need my heart and everything, my soul, everything about me. And I stand for it. There it is right there. And I need to be there. So I went. Well, she calls me back and says, guess what? A friend of mine that worked in the carnival is up there. She's a very, very good friend. And I said, okay, cool. What are you saying? She says, she's going to meet you on the corner of Metcalf and Slater, coincidentally. And I went, I know where that is. I've been there. Like, I lived in Ottawa and around Ottawa for about 2 or 3 years. The only good thing about that city, I never felt loved in 25 years. I felt like a germ. I felt like a disease, because people, look at me. I don't look like I'm from the city. Let's be realistic. Right?
Hold on. Let me see you. Let me see you. I
love it. Look at this.
Yeah.
Do I look like I am from the financial core of Canada? Hell no. I recognize that. I love myself. To hell with what they think. Okay? But I never felt like even recognized as well, anything less than dirt. In all reality, 2 to 3 experiences. I'm not going to elaborate, but I'm not bullshitting, man. Because I pay attention. I hear people before I even see them. Like, I'm hearing and see. My eyes are everywhere. I retain everything like a goddamn VHS. If any of you don't know what that is, it was long before DVDs. It was long before all that other stuff. It was long before this stuff. Okay. So I've literally had a couple experiences where I'm a pretty tough guy. Usually, like, tough. I hold it in. I can cover everything. I almost bawled my eyes out just because of the fact I was so sad that people have gotten to this point where I had 2 to 3 experiences. And they were all around the Rideau Center. And I went, oh, cool. I'll just walk around these people. Well, they literally noticed. Because sometimes I say things out loud. I think out loud. Don't care what anybody thinks. I think I've gone crazy because of the idiocy that's around society. Regardless. They literally walk away with disgust on their faces. It's like you're getting out of the radius of the germ infestation.
Why do you think?
Like, across the street, man. Why? What have you experienced in your life to be like that? Just,
I don't know.
Maybe it was something different, but it literally had happened a couple times and in the same manner. So I went, and I've never felt like I was ever accepted as even less than, like I said, the dirt under their feet. It was almost too good for me. That's the feeling I got when I went to the big city, our capital city.
Hold on, just to give context, this is generally when you lived in Ottawa, and when you were in Ottawa, that's how you felt.
Maybe it's because I'm a Toronto fan. I don't know, and I proudly expressed it.
But then yes. the truckers convoy came in and changed a few things.
I have never felt love, pure, unadulterated, real love, since I was a kid. Like what I felt when I stood on the corner after I hugged that awesome human being. Never. And I never thought it was ever going to be present again. But it confirmed my hope that was really, it was way back there. It was almost gone, man. I'm not going to lie. Like,
oh, wow.
It confirmed that it's still there. And it's definitely not going anywhere for anytime soon. It's now decided enough is enough. We need ourselves back. So when I got there, guess who it was who met me on the corner of Metcalf and Slater in about this much snow in her walker? Can you guess?
Candace.
You better believe it, buddy. That was my first time meeting that beautiful woman. All right. And I went, hey, wait a minute. What did you say your friend uses for mode of transportation? She says, she got a goddamn walker. I said, are you kidding me? And these streets aren't shut. I think I just about ran into her, something stupid like that, because I passed her. She was almost literally right in dead center of the street. And I'm like, what? And I stop and I'm like, hey, are you Candace? She says, well, everybody calls me Candy. I went, don't you move. I don't care where my car is. You need to get across this street. She walked 2.5 blocks. But do you remember the interview with me and you about that at all? When we went down from our hub where I was parked right across from you, Metcalf and Slater, and walked down after the incident with her up there in front of Chateau.
We had a conversation on the street. And then you walked me back to the car because I wanted to interview her.
Absolutely.
And then we heard from somebody that she was still in the hospital, and she gave us an update onto the. I remember that. Yeah, I totally remember that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So this lady seriously met me in the middle of a snowstorm in the streets of Ottawa, our capital city, that should have long since been shoveled and cleaned off by now. So I'm already seeing that as obviously that's hey, we're going to make it hard for you. Well, no, I'm going to walk this lady across the street, make sure, the hell with that. She walked 2.5 blocks down the middle of the street in that thickness of snow with her walker. Okay, well, now I love you already. I'm going to take care of you the whole time I'm here. That's how I am. I'm old school. Okay. I love people that love themselves enough to show other people. And not only that, to love other people instead of hating them. That's what we've become. Hateful society. Okay. And I don't accept it.
There is definitely both love and hate in our society. And I mean, I'm not necessarily an expert on how to create. I recognize it when I see it. And, right. You know, the Freedom Convoy for me anyway was an out of the ordinary experience in love. And I mean, I don't know that I'll ever experience anything like it again, nor do I feel like I have to. I feel like it was complete in and of itself, you know.
That can't happen. That was spontaneous.
Yeah,
Spontaneity is a one-time thing when it comes to that 100%. Type of stuff.
So when you got there, can you tell me, where did you sleep?
Where did I sleep? I slept directly across from you when you were parked in the paid for parking empty spot, the only one between the Starbucks, the Tim Hortons, and the Second Cup. I was, you remember the lady with the food tent right there? That awesome lady right there in the corner. I think it was the Starbucks that was right beside us on that corner. I can't remember, but anyways, she had the tent right on the corner. She was up early making food, making breakfast, lunch, supper for anybody and everybody. Didn't matter. If you were hungry, she had you. So I was right 2 cars past her, right beside the truck. I was the gas guardian. I kept calling myself the gas guardian because it was the gas incident that made me go, enough is enough. Right?
Yeah,
you can't do that.
I wanted to talk about that a little bit here because I had footage lined up, and that was today when we were ferrying all that fuel. I think I started with it there. I'm gonna put it up again.
6 jerry cans full in a wagon, doing 2 at a time, trying to go up that incline.
Those people have taken that, and
it was pretty crazy. Peace Man. You remember Peace Man?
Yes, I remember Peace Man. He basically stood there the majority of the time, and I loved him for it. He was like the unnamed soldier. I thought it was amazing.
I don't know how he didn't go deaf, man. He was right in the line of all of those horns, and I'm like, holy man, that would.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So this was like I was running gas and diesel to all of these trucks up here, right? Because I said we were on the Metcalf and Slater hub.
Yeah, I wonder if I've got you on video here because this is. Hang on, just a second.
Now, your dates might be coincide with this. This might help. I was there for the whole last week because of my visit, right?
Yeah, no, this would have been early. This was right now, like 2 years ago, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
On the 9th of February, on the 9th, yeah. And so what was happening here, folks? For those of you who weren't there, people were bringing all kinds of cans. Some were filled with fuel, some were filled with water, some weren't filled with anything. The idea was that there was going to be so many fuel cans on the road that the police couldn't confiscate them all. And I guess that was your job. You mentioned that you were hauling fuel, yes?
I made it a point to park my car right beside the rig that was behind the food tent, going up Slater or Metcalf, towards the Eternal Flame. Like there was the tent, and then there was a big rig parked right behind her along the right side of the road, traveling towards Parliament Hill. And then there was, I think, one more, I believe, right in front of him. And I was directly beside that one between him and where you were parked in that empty parking lot. Yeah, and that's where all of the diesel that was in our hub
Yeah,
That's what we refer
I'm
to,
not
the
sure
hub.
our audience might have the frames of reference, so I'll try to keep it. If I knew we were going to be talking about, I could have got footage for it, but it's okay.
It's
we'll
okay.
find it.
It's okay, man. I wasn't there for recognition. You know what I'm saying?
So
That's
now,
the thing.
Tell me, brother, did you go? You went down by yourself, so your mother and your wife helped you get there. You went down by yourself. It was a
Absolutely.
week. Coming up just in a couple of days here. You showed up. You were there for the week, and you stayed in your car right at Metcalf and Slater there.
I got out of my door, and as I'm looking up, I'm looking a block and a half, 2 blocks at the Eternal Flame, directly at it, facing front. Like I was literally, yes, absolutely.
Which incidentally was not lit. If
Right?
you take
Imagine that. The Eternal Flame, not lit.
Yeah, for the
I remember that incident too.
Trucker convoy, it was it was kind of crazy. But
So,
I'm trying to catch it.
But that's where I was literally like, I was going through a ton of your clips. Keep in mind the whole way up, and before I was able to go up, I was following you like you wouldn't believe. Everything I could find. Didn't matter because I didn't want to go up blind, even though I was willing to, because that's just what you do. If it's something you believe in, there's no questions. You just do it because that's your beliefs. That's your core values, which is what I saw in this, a moral code, you know what I mean, which is lost. This is what I mean. This is what I was like, but I've been angry for 25 years because I've watched the digression of humanity's awesomeness to be a bunch of, it is what it is today, right? We're not going to get detailed. But I paid attention. So that was the main reason. And then this happened and I went, nope, enough, we're going. That's all there is to it. So I packed my car with a baby bed. You know those little toddler mattresses? Because I was in what you call, what was your car again? Jesus. Dodge Journey, like a station wagon.
Yeah.
Right? Kelly says, hi, Jim. See,
hi,
Kelly. Come here for a second. Check this out. I told you we had 2 of them made, right? 2 sweaters.
Oh, yeah. Look, you got another
exactly
one.
the same.
Hold on, I want to see. Go. Look at that!
Right?
Wow!
And we wore these proudly at Rolling Thunder, and we became the target of the parking enforcement because I verbally put them in their place and let them know how tough they weren't when they're in a group mentality.
Freedom!
Okay? Freedom! Every day, all day. Yeah, and we'll be wearing them when we go up this week, too. Or next week, sorry. So, anyways, yeah, I packed it. I put a toddler's bed. I put the seats down. I grabbed toilet paper and paper towel, and I made lines all the way down the windows on the side. And I mean, packed it in because I knew they're going to be looking in. They're going to try and find anything they can to access your vehicle. I'm not an idiot. I have legal attorneys in my family. That many-ish, maybe that. I can't remember exactly. Who cares? Because I might have a little more knowledge sometimes when it comes to obligations, and all that lovely stuff on and off the job with these types of people. So regardless, having said that, I set her up so you can't see in blankets strung. I got these little cool lanterns that are Bluetooth speakers. I got one here in the front. I got one in the back so that they flash all these lights so that they can't even see a damn thing and they don't want to look at my windows. I got the toddler's bed in the middle, and I got a laundry basket right beside me so my clothes are accessible. I had a jar of pickles. Do you remember that at all? I talked to you about this. I brought food. I brought everything. Coolers, anything I could bring, propane burner, because I'm doing this and I'm not relying on anybody else because that's the old school style. I'm doing this and I can do it. Let's get it done. If you don't need help, you don't need help. Be proud. But if you do need help, ask. That's reality. Swallow your pride. If you need help, you need help. For this, I didn't need no damn help. I was rolling. I was ready. Packed to the tits.
Now I want to ask the make of the car. Is this a big vehicle or a small vehicle?
It's like a station wagon. I'm trying to see what we got on the screen right now. SUV station wagon.
Okay, well that's okay.
The vehicle, that Dodge Magnum they came out with a whole bunch of forever ago with the Hemi in it. The Dodge Magnum station wagon was a big thing. Well, it's a little smaller than that.
All right. So no, you had a good apartment. I mean, yours was a good size.
I set it up, dude. I really set it up. Okay.
Have a listen. People were saying, "Hey, wasn't there any female truckers there?" Yeah, there was.
There was.
And this just happened to be one of the interviews that we had with one. So hold on just 1 second. Let's watch this one for a second here.
I'm doing amazing. Yeah, things are really good. Spirits are high, Yeah. I guess your neighbor here is having a shrimp party, a shrimp dance party. How you feeling? How long you been out?
I'm doing better now. Kids are good.
Okay, yeah, you had a problem with the health board at school.
Yes.
So you want to share with people what happened?
Well, it turned out, not that it
week we had a medical issue, so we ended up just going to get them, and now my mom's gone with them to see our great aunt. She's sick, but she's been suffering for a while, so now my mom and the kids are gone to see the mom.
So basically what she's saying here, she was on the line and she had to leave, and now she's back again, and these are the reasons why she had to go.
I trust you.
I trust you.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Yeah, they were great, man.
Just one of the incredible truck drivers that are here.
Come up on the front line like that.
I wish I could have been right on the front line. If I could have got a spot, I would have, absolutely. Absolutely. But I believe it doesn't matter where I am. I took my place where I needed to be, where I was supposed to be. Because I was all in, and I'm sorry, but I might be a little guy. I'm a lot bigger than I look, and I'm a little more smarter. Wow, I just sounded like an idiot. Teacher for a mother. I'm a lot more educated in not just book and theory, but in reality and life than most people would believe. I mean, look at this. As I say to people, it looks like a scrapbook, right? Kid's scrapbook. You know, you open it up, you think it's going to be a bunch of scribbles and shit. Well, I can promise you, you're going to open that up and the sun's going to go, oh, and you're going to get a way more intellectually challenging read than you were ever capable of thinking you were capable. Because I retain, like I said, I have the VHS memory. So all of this stuff adds to our reason for being here.
Let's scan that VHS memory and kind of explain to the audience what your daily activities were like at the convoy. Like, what did you do? How did you spend your time other than delivering fuel, which I know you mentioned that? What other kind of things did you do while you were there?
Well, when I first got there, I also recognized that there would be a ton of skepticism because of what's happened before I got there. Instantly, anybody's an enemy until proven otherwise. And that's a negative way to look at it, but I accepted that, right? But I already had an in with Candy. She's been there. She's up and down that street every day. Perfect. This is my help right here to prove that this is where I need to be, and I'm here for you guys and everybody else. So first thing I did was where I parked was at the soup kitchen there, that little tent. Instantly go over. Hey, how's it going? Don't mean to be rude because I'm interrupting you, but I believe it's for a good cause, even though it's still rude. Do you need any help? And she gave me that look, right? Like, I expected it, right? I get it. I'm an outsider. You've all been here for like almost 2 full weeks. I'm new. This is something to expect. Infiltration, understandable. And then she gave it, and I said, honestly, open that little side of your little tent and look, that you'll see my car. It's right there. Or no, I think at that time, sorry, I was in your little parking lot. Literally 2 vehicles down from you because I took a video and sent it to my buddy. And then that spot at that truck opened up, and I noticed that's where all the gas was for this hub and the diesel. And I went, dude, get over there and plug that spot until I can get there. He got there. He didn't get a chance to turn around, and I was already sideways out of that thing, and I come in like a goddamn movie. Almost hit the truck, which I went, ooh, that would have been really shitty. But I got in. I literally would not let any officer, any unknown soldier, anybody that I did not already know, because, again, I got the video replay. I've already known everybody's faces here before I even got over here, and I've only been here for one night. Well, no cop. They tried, and I tell them straight up, I'm sorry. My purpose here is to make sure you don't break the law because you swore an oath. So I was the gas guardian. So at that time, self-proclaimed gas guardian. I took that honor on. Nobody asked. I took it on because that spot can't open up. That can't keep happening because that makes room for them to just go grab more and go. This is the lifeline of the convoy. It's like shutting the hydro off. You can't do it. It's illegal, but they're doing it. That's why I'm here. And it's not going to happen after now. How many times they tried, and I'd step right in front of them. I don't care.
You hold on a second. So you physically put your body between yourself and the police and the gas cans?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh. Well, were you
like there was no action?
They were going to maybe arrest you or something?
Don't give a damn. I've been to jail. I'll rock that orange jumpsuit, especially if it's for my country's rights. You know, it's just, that's all there is to it, man. That's wholehearted love. That's Canadian. That's me. That's everything about me. There is no line that is drawn that will stop me from making sure the right things happen and our freedoms are taken care of and not infringed upon. And I don't care how many times you've done it already in history and slowly taken things away and gotten people used to it because you distracted. Not this cat. Give a damn. Again, remember I said, I have some few representatives of the legal side of the law, the actual good side of it, or bad, I guess, depending on who they're representing.
Yeah.
But I have knowledge, man, and I know it's the people that go, hey, I know my rights. Well, the second you say that to a cop, and they don't like hearing that either. They want police officer, law enforcement, right? Because cop, right? Community on patrol. They're not community on patrol, regardless.
Is that what COP stands for?
Yeah, that's,
I
that's how it
didn't
all
know
started.
that.
Like back in the Black Panther days, I'm pretty sure it was.
Community on patrol.
Again,
Hey,
I
learn
educate myself,
something
man.
new
I
every day,
educate
man. That's
myself
cool.
where on things that people just ordinarily pass by. Anything, I get it. It's like shiny. There's squirrels and shiny shit everywhere, dude, and it all distracts me to the point where if I don't know about it, I've never heard, or even if I do, I need to know, and I need to know more. I have to. It's my thing. I educate myself. I don't walk a straight line like an AI and do what I'm told, and I don't believe in anything less than continual education because the world's changing, like they say. Even though some things shouldn't, change isn't always good, but it is. You got to pay attention. And
Change is going to happen whether we like it or not. I mean, you might as well
Right?
like that stuff. I've always kind of embraced the idea that when change comes, that's good, man. That's where opportunity lives, right?
Right? Absolutely, absolutely. Right? But it all depends on the method or the reason behind the change. You know what I mean? If it's pure, absolutely. If it's a singular entity that's going to benefit, as we spoke of before, type of thing, and that's why change. But usually they'll never tell you that. They make you believe it's for the betterment of the society. Which, if that's the case, well, then maybe change isn't good because now change has taken part of us away. Has taken
I mean,
what we stand for away. You know, I mean, that's again, that's just my opinion.
When our cells die, that's part of our bodies that's being taken away. But as long as there's new healthy cells being grown to replace for them, you know.
Yes.
And I think we have to be careful too that everything is not ever just one way. And if we think it is, then sometimes it's our fault for kind of getting stuck in some certain thought patterns. I do it all the time, brother. I get,
I'm there too, man. I won't deny it.
And it's okay. That's as humans, we are real, we are fallible, we screw up, man. We don't have all the answers. Like, I mean, I'm throwing on this video thing. We're kind of looking at some of the stuff that happened at the convoy. I get to have some great conversations with people, but I don't really know which way it's going to go, and that's okay.
Right? You got to let things happen as they are. They're going to end up a way or another, but you got to accept it's going to be. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I'm with you. We focus sometimes on things, even the purest people. Sometimes can focus negatively on things without realizing it, and they'll get into habits that they don't understand. It's being accepting of that because it's going to happen, but it's also about realizing if you've done, I don't know how to say it without sounding kind of, selfish or ignorant in all reality. You used to have it. You and your little comments. Get me right off track. You remember I got ADHD, right?
So, hey, so when did you end up leaving the convoy? Like you were there
when the goon squad turned down Metcalf, and I
had
no choice. Right? When the goon squad on the 18th, I believe it was that not the last day that?
Yeah,
we pretty much it was the 18th. Okay, because they were up at Chateau Laurier area, and they pretty much stuck there for the majority of what happened up there. And I was down. I didn't care. I talked to my wife on the phone, my mom. They're all trying to tell me, like, you got to go. You got to go. Like, you got my car. And I'm like, guess what? Your fucking car means shit compared to this. But then again, like I said, on that little video you did with me looking for candy, in all reality, I fear my wife. She's a crazy little native more than any of these cops kicking my ass. I'm pretty sure I can kick hers, but I can't touch her morally. Like, it's just what it is, right? And she's a crazy little native. I love her, but it is her car. And, I want to be able to go home. Right? I'll rock the orange jumpsuit, but then I got to deal with her after I get out. You know what I'm saying? Right? Happy spouse, happy house, right?
Not exactly. So no. I'm just trying to. So you got out then just the last day. Then it was the February 18th, and the cops were coming up, and you said, and that was when most people left. I think there was not too many left after that. There was people down at the War Memorial, the War Museum down there.
Yep. Yeah, no, I literally watched them kind of do the old, how the fan works. You know what I mean? When it's oscillating, you see it kind of pivoting on one. It was literally, I watched them as they came up. You could see the straight line of them, and it was like they pivoted. They booked their ass right to the corner of that building, and they fanned out until they covered the whole width of Metcalf and started coming south. And I just went, and I was pretty much on the phone going, never really turned down a fight before, but I don't think I'm going to win this one.
No, I
But
don't.
I mean, I'm in. But then again, there's my wife I got to deal with after because they're going to bash the shit out of her car, or they're going to tow it, or there's something, right? That's the biggest fear above all. Not these guys, because
Yeah.
when
Well,
you're tough on your own without a weapon, and these guys are in a group with weapons, and it's a gang mentality. I take that challenge on any day of the week, but not there because that's
yeah,
not what we were about.
I think the protection for your wife's car, it was a wise move because the night that Bubble Bus left, which was the 18th, the late we left that Metcalf and Slater. We just stuck around, but we just didn't stay there. But that night that we left, we were the last vehicle in that parking lot to leave, except for a truck, which incidentally got impounded and left with the hood open so that the snow came in and did a whole bunch of damage to the gentleman's
Was that the truck with the redneck built stage on top of it, right beside
Yeah,
the music tent?
that's
Imagine that.
Yeah,
That was a beautiful truck. That was redneck as shit. I love that thing.
That's right. He just put that together that weekend, man.
I know, and there was people dancing on it, and that's coincidentally where you videoed me when I was eating a jar of pickles about this big out of the back of my car, and you're just doing one of your little things, right? And you're on top, and you're loving the music. You got your fur coat, I think, on, and something else cool you had. And like you're like, hey man, you look down, you said something. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just eating some pickles. He's like, pickles? And you focus in, you're like, the man actually brought a jar of pickles. And I'm like, you're damn right I did. Because they last long and they're great, or something stupid like that. And I just giggled about it, and you're like, wow, that's a necessity or something you said. And I said, you better believe it. Like something along those lines, but it was the man actually brought a jar of pickles.
Well, it's pretty.
And then right afterwards, what's that, sir?
I mean, the streets of Ottawa, and there are some men that are carrying around big sticks and batons, other men with hockey sticks, and then there's guys carrying pickles. I mean, it's kind of random, dude.
What do you want from me? I mean, the guy loves. I know, but you were all the way up there, and I'm short. I know. Go over this. But I'll tell you, right after that, there was one of the chicks that was dancing up there. I don't know her name or anything, and I'm not going to really refer her because that'd be ignorant. But it was funny because after you said that statement, she looked down and she went, what? And she got off the truck, almost fell quite out. It was kind of funny, but whatever. Stumbled her way across to me standing at the open tailgate of my car. And she looks right at me and grabs my hand and goes, can I have a bite of your pickle? And I laughed like a schoolgirl, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you realize what you just said, right? Like, I'm a gentleman and shit, but what the hell?
What else?
It was one of those things that just made the humor, kept the humor there, right? And she just looks and she's like, I know what I said.
For real,
okay,
brother, for real.
Here's a pickle for you. How about your boyfriend?
Okay. Let's avoid pickling ourselves, getting ourselves into a pickle here. That's
a good dad joke. Good dad joke.
Tell me a little bit about your life after the convoy, man. Like what you left
after the convoy.
It's been a couple of years now.
Well, yeah, and I've done my best to follow anything I can that's related to it. I mean, again, I'm not a computer genius. I hate computers. I hate online. I'm a people and cash type of guy. But I do my best to keep up with stuff, right, where I can. And anybody I know that might be watching. Again, I've been on disability, right? And as I mentioned earlier, they don't give you much, okay? So you're relating to the 15 to 17 base minimum rate for a one-bedroom apartment in this area. Keep in mind, Belleville's only like 52,000, 56,000 people. Not very big.
Right.
And when I first got on it, just around the Freedom Convoy time, it was $1,165. That's what I got. I was absolutely embarrassed going from $5,000+ a month to making that. Wow, okay, cool. So whatever, there's fights, and I had to fight for it for 2 years. That's how they help us, right? They deny you twice. It's a policy. I get it, but really, I need it. So I make that. Well, now you make $1,308. Isn't that cool? In a $1,500 to $1,700 rent minimum area. That's awesome. So how are you really helping me? I mean, I might better go hang out down at the church and get some free soup, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's those are the things that deter you from believing.
By the way, there is no shame in, and there is a hell of a lot more people here in Canada that are resorting to these food banks in order to make ends meet. And there's absolutely no shame in that if you need to do that. But when you've got 2 million Canadians, which is the recent stat, that are relying on food stamps, and there's only 30 odd million in population, folks, that's kind of scary.
Well, and I mean, in reality, that goes back to my point. Like, whatever happened to being, honest, real, decent humans when it comes to this exact situation?
Well,
We're helping you, but you're taking over a $200,000 family vacation at any given time, regardless of the one that's latest in the news. That's not what I'm referring to.
Okay. Hold on. I want to talk
where
about
are we?
the good people. I want to talk about the good people and what they do. Okay, let's
Good
go
call.
back to
My
the video
apologies.
here.
My apologies.
Listen to
I
me.
do apologize.
Listen.
Yes,
So here we are outside. Now there is like 2 counter protesters here, and they're carrying signs that say "Go home, terrorists." Okay. And this was always interesting, fascinating to me that this happened. This happened tonight, 2 years ago. And what happened was the freedom protesters started to surround them, but not in a threatening way. I don't know if you've seen the other footage of the protesters, but take a look at the way the protesters deal with very, very few protesters. It's really quite fascinating. Watch.
YouTube and YouTube guys. Hey, I'll tell you
I gotta get some volume on
this
this.
guy is in the middle of the cold to bring a story that nobody else is bringing. You share his stuff out. You make sure you treat him good, all right?
Say with that, can we get a shout out for him in the chat there, guys?
Church Bubbles, baby. Hey, we love you.
Let's do it.
Freedom loves you.
I'm on Twitch.
Twitch?
Serious CJ with
Here's.
Got a ski tag on, so we know that she's living at large.
She has a what tag on?
Tag on. She went skiing.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Got a skiing tag on.
She's got a ski tag on. She goes skiing.
She goes skiing, which means she must have some money if she can. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So what you'll notice, folks, is that all of the protesters have backed up from the protesters, and now they're banging the drums. They're banging the gas cans as drums to keep peace.
My rights trampled to the ground.
My Lord.
I'm here standing for you guys and for each one of you here. That's all I gotta say.
Yay! Woo!
Wow. Love and life, man.
So it's pretty clear that
everybody
this,
having the right to their own opinion. Absolutely. I mean, that's something that one of the very few things you have left.
Isn't that what freedom is? And I think one of the problems is some of the kind of fringy, freaky, cringy freedom fighter people, and there are some like that are just they're not conscious of other people and how they're being with some other people. I think sometimes they forget that they don't have to be right all the time. That sometimes we're wrong, and sometimes other people have better ideas than us. And and if we disagree with one another, we can agree to disagree, and that's okay.
Absolutely. It's assimilation, it's respect, and it's just like, hey, the greed thing, the selfish thing, that's what it is. It's been a groomed thing over society. My opinion matters more than yours. That's not the case. You absolutely, as you said, we can agree to disagree, but we can still be peaceful about it. We don't have to be upset because we didn't tell you can't have your opinion. You can, it just may not apply.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Or mine too. Mine too. I can't get mad at you because you feel what you feel, but that goes both ways. And that's what's been forgotten. We're allowed to have that. We can figure out, yes, we can either agree, disagree, or agree to disagree, but we can still move forward. Because some people get stuck on that, like you say. No, you can't. It has to be. Well, that's not the case. So let's open our eyes and be real again. Think about it.
And this is one of the primary wastes of energy, I think, that people engage in. They're engaging in opposition with or defense of their own ideals. Like, this is the way it is, and it must be this way. And if you don't feel this way, you're wrong. And what you're thinking is wrong, and your approach is bad. And like, man, if people took that energy and instead, used it in a positive fashion,
any positive fashion. I'm literally going through this exact kind of situation. I have been before the convoy, right? Like, it's all the, I've tried to open the eyes of people in my life. Like, hey, listen, I get it. You don't believe what I'm saying, or you don't believe what I believe in, or you don't understand it, which is usually the case. But it doesn't mean, when they go, but me, or what about what I think? You know what I mean? Or well, you should think about this instead. And instead of going with that ideal, they continue to push to the fact that you have to go with it eventually because it's there and they know better or something. I've been dealing with that for so long. This is why I said I was an outsider before, and then the convoy came around. So I'm getting choked up again, man. Damn you. But it's real though. This is the whole reason I've dealt with that type of stuff. I was the outsider because every single person, not just one or a group, I was noticing they're all trying to impress what they believe, feel, or see, even if it's reality or not. It's what their reality is. That's not my reality, but it was all like, it happened all the time, and I was crushed. And then again, that was one of those freedoms. Those huge weights was lifted off with the Freedom Convoy, because I felt that again. No mask don't matter. Vax, no vax, doesn't matter. We love you anyways. You're accepted. You know, we're not gonna put you over here and segregate you into a little stupid group that we're gonna call a little stupid group, small fringe minority, right? But we're gonna accept you no matter what. You're allowed to be involved. You're allowed to make that choice for yourself as to where you want to be and where you want to go and where you want to end up and how you want to do it and what it's going to take to get there. We're not going to give you those guidelines. We're not going to trap you like that. Get over here. Let's talk. Let's argue, but let's dispute, not argue. Let's just dispute, but let's still educate ourselves in the others. You know what I mean?
Brother, I have to tell you that it was the single most. You hear the terms diversity and inclusivity, these terms a lot of times, but it was the only time for an extended period of time where I felt like I was actually in an inclusive, diversive environment. Other than the odd guy who was a little upset, you know, this guy, I don't think he was too happy.
But it's okay. He's allowed to be, right? But he's not allowed to tell us. We're not allowed to tell him how he has to be. But you are allowed to express that. You know what? Every time they would go by us, these type of people. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have been the Don Cherry. You people. But every time they would enter our area, go by, or spread their view, most of the time, our response was, "That's amazing. Thank you for that. We love you too, man. You know, you are also the reason why we're here. Thank you for sharing your opinion. We love you. Have a nice day." And they would still continue to do this stuff.
You'll notice that this young man in the picture here is trying to get people's attention. He's quite adamant he's going to get the attention, but he's not getting a lot of takers. Oh, except for this person with a big heart. Look at that. The big person with the big heart. Look. She goes running
That's
up.
what we call a follower, right? That's what we call a follower. And don't get me wrong. You want to be a follower? That's your choice. You're allowed. I accept that. But sometimes you got to realize what's worth following and what's not. Some people just follow because that's what's going that way at this point in time. And it gets me.
Shane.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, is worth following?
What, in my opinion, progression for all on a fair and equal level, even though we know that doesn't exist. And I mean, and again, I'll use the word again, for the betterment of the country, their pride, their egos, even though I'm not a big, hey, I don't stroke anybody's egos, but it also takes a little bit of an ego to have pride and have respect, you know, or maybe vice versa. Those build that, you know, maybe, but these are all things that society has lost. And that's what I want. That's what I would love. Unfortunately, there's a song that goes, "You can't always get what you want." You know what I'm talking about. But reality is,
you just might find you get what you need.
You want to give. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
That's my projection, because I've been like that before my father died, and all the negativity. I turned away from that myself, and then I saw and I realized that it's not the way we need to. It's not what we need to be. It's we're losing who we are. We've forgotten where we came from, and that's the most unhealthy thing I can think of. Personally, other than an actual physical unhealthy event, that mentally and morally is the most unhealthy thing that we could ever have in our obligatory goals for everybody, not just ourselves, for everybody's betterment, for everybody to be able to enjoy a good quality of life and not have to worry about. There's always going to be worries. There's always going to be struggles, but not have to worry about your damn home or whether you're going to have one. And even if you do, whether you're going to be able to feed yourself or whether you're going to be able to have the hydro. I remember commercials like this, dude, from 20 years ago saying they're flicking on the light switch. The light switch goes on, the food goes off. The food's gone. Turn the light switch off, there's food on the table. Why do we have to make that? That is what has become the norm, and I don't accept it. It's unacceptable. because we're the shoe on the other foot with the actual small fringe minority. In reality, that's my opinion. I bet you those things would change real fast because they no, that's not right, but it is though. As long as right?
I have a feeling we could go on quite a bit. We
Yes.
are at the end of our time, but I do want to ask you your opinion on a change in politics. Okay, so it looks like there may very well be some kind of change in politics going down the road. Do you think if the current person whose initials are on the back of your sweater is no longer in power, and that a let's say a PP comes in or something?
Okay.
A double P comes in. Is it going to make a difference? Is it going to make things better?
In reality, I mean, and I am a realist, whether it's negative or not, but reality is reality. You can't argue with right. That's just a rule of thumb. People try to, but you can't. You have to accept certain things are, but you also have to be able to accept and realize when certain things aren't and can be. And in my opinion, it relates to the pick the lesser of two evils. That's unacceptable. And until we figure that problem out, and there's actually an evil, which we don't want, but there's at least an evil and some sort of a good, that's where the problem starts. And it's never going to change until we change that part of it. And we need to have it just has to happen. And we got to make it happen because we have the power. They don't. They've made everybody believe we do have to do what they say and they own us, type of speak. And that's not the reality. They work for us. We don't work for them, people. So we got to change that. We need to own that. We need to own that. That's the reality of it. And you can't say it any better, in my opinion, right at this point, because that's what it is. We don't work for them.
I agree with you.
They work for us.
I agree with you, brother. I think that we're the ones that have to make the changes. And honestly, at the end of the day, the only thing we actually have the power to change is ourselves.
But that's where it starts, right?
You know,
it always starts with us.
I'm glad I influenced you. You've influenced me tonight. So let's go on after tonight and go out and influence others in the best possible way.
Absolutely, man.
Is there anything you'd like to leave with the people before we go?
All I want to say, I mean, and again, as I said to you before we got on this, I mean, I'm doing my best to make sure you keep your image, man. I don't want to ruin that at all. I'm not going to ruin this for you. But in my opinion, if anybody has any doubts, as I've stated, I believe on one of my posts about last week coming up to this, if you have any doubts or you still have reservations, which you should, because there's never 100% truth on anything, no matter where you go, there's usually three sides. One version, the other version, and reality. You got to realize that. If you want it, you got to work for it. And that's all we're missing. Is people got to be honest, whether it costs you or not. And if you can't do the punishment, don't do the crime type thing. That's real. Okay? And until that stuff stops, it's not going to stop. Like you said, it starts with ourselves, man. Enough of us started. The convoy opened the world's eyes. That's great. But it's too bad it took that to happen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to change ourselves, and then we got to work on that positive and negative. You got to have a positive and negative to have the proper experience, right? Or otherwise, you can't speak. You know what I'm saying? It's rules of thumb I have, man. You know, and they've done me well since I've gotten myself back in the convoy, and you have really helped that happen. And I love you and everybody that was involved with that, because that was
Shane,
real, man.
I'm blushing. You've been very, very complimentary, and I appreciate it. You've been very engaging. You got tons of energy, and I'm so glad you came up, brother. Can we see that shirt one more time, brother?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hey, brothers and sisters of the line, Convoy 2022. JT, fuck you. All right? It even actually says the words, fuck you. I forgot to mention that under each thing. Freedom, which matters above all. Canada says on the hood, fuck you, JT. JT, from me. And I'd do it if he was standing in front of me, my man. That's how strongly I feel.
You better go through the comments on Facebook because somebody wants one of your sweaters.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And keep in mind, I did not do this or the convoy for any type of recognition. I did this because it's what I believe in. It's what I want. No publicity. I appreciate it. You know, you understand, man. Absolutely. Everybody's voice needs to be heard, but None of this was done for any selfish need other than the selfishness of this country as a whole.
I get it, brother. You're definitely one of the good ones, Shane. Thank you so much for being on our show tonight. And
Love you guys.
ladies and
Love
gentlemen,
everybody.
feel free to stick around for a little bit as we will just watch the tail end of this one, and we'll be good to go. Thank you again, Shane. You're awesome, buddy.
No, thank you, Jim, for what you do, man. You're beautiful.
All right, man.
Not just trusting in the word science.
Yeah, I love it when they say, trust the science. Well, show me the science. What are they going to educate me to? No. Trust the science. I don't trust anything.
Oh, Rob Primo, how you doing, buddy? Thanks so much for liking our stuff, man. Seriously, it makes a difference. This is how we're trying to show the truth. Like, it's kind of difficult to focus on certain things because everybody wants everything focused on, and everybody thinks everything's an emergency. Clearly isn't, and it's sometimes difficult to filter out the truth from the fiction in all of the emotion. But when you put it all aside, you're looking at the reality, and anybody who tells you anything about insurrection and, you know, whatever, that is not us. It's going to be somebody coming in from the outside to just cause trouble. I can guarantee you. I've been here for how many, 10, 12 days or something.
What?
Okay? I've seen it with my own eyes. You guys have seen it, man. I've posted it. Like, I ran towards anything that looked like trouble or anything that looked interesting without hesitation. And there are people who really have a problem with mainstream media. You know. Yeah. Yeah, everybody does what they do, right? Check this one out. So I guess we're at Wellington and O'Connor.
How well do you trust your union?
All right. And as you can see, there's not a whole bunch of people on the streets, but there's trucks as far as the eye can see. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. If you only knew who this guy is in front of us. Man, he's got a story like you would not believe. A human being who's been through the ringer and back, and even though there's current threat, he doesn't hold back, he just goes forward. Just come to know him recently. Incredible vet. Yeah. Okay, watch your eyeballs because I'm going to change the other way real quick with it. All right, let's see if we can give you something here.
You know, the East Coast, the boaters out there, fishermen, you know, come on, guys, get her going. And yeah, it's, I haven't seen anything that doesn't, you know, inspire me. Gives me, I heard a lot of pride. Really
Dude, you and I feel exactly the same. Thank you very much.
I saw you the other day give Big Red some money there, Chris. And I seen you handing out SIM cards, so I want to give you that. So
oh my God, man.
You can keep the love going, brother.
Wow, man. Thank you very much. You are another example of all the generosity that we've seen around. We really do appreciate it, and we'll make sure that it's used wisely. So,
yeah, for sure, man.
All right.
Awesome to meet you.
Yeah, brother.
You know what? If you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind getting a shot with you.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Okay, so as
Canada, man.
we'll give you just a tour around.
These guys, oh, I got to get you flipped around.
Is there where how would we find that? Like, how I'm not familiar with.
417 East.
Yep. It's so weird holding 700 people in your hand. You know, it's so weird. Oh, wow. Oh, on the conversation table. Hey, man, did you realize you're sitting at the conversation table? Okay, here we go.
Have a conversation.
Really? But they might not. They might not. But I just can't see them allowing us to go until Saturday. That's my prognosis. Because then the 2 Saturdays, the first two and how you were the firekeeper.
It's dream.
Ah.
What's going on today? I mean, if you've got a dream, there's no reason for you not to chase it.
Well, did you ever dream that something like this would happen in our nation's capital?
No, honestly, this is beautiful. As Quebecers, this is sort of the marriage between La Saint Jean-Baptiste and Canada Day times 1,000.
You are so true. I don't even know how. It's weird, right? And everybody is smiling, and it's a very peaceful vibe that I've never.
The first Saturday, and it was so amazing. It was so friendly, happiness everywhere. People just smiling,
Yeah.
happy.
Completely energized us after 2 years of being
We have
low
a
on
really
energy.
big smile on her face, and just like wow, and people like that. We love people. We love to talk to each other, and now it's like it's show us like it's not what happened. What I'm doing two times ago.
Yeah, everything that's happened, has been completely insane. People have been divided. People are hiding, and to see everyone come together was pure magic.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, fellow Canadians. Hey, how do they reach you? I'm sorry.
All back home, some of them have been on the road.
Thoughts of going home because it's a long battle.
But they can't until we get this sorted out. How do you feel? When do you get to go home?
Oh, to be honest, I've been thinking to myself that same question. It's really hard to say. I've had thoughts of going home because it's a long battle. But at the same time, I can be here, so I feel like I should. So I'm just going to be here till the end.
Ah, brother.
As much as I want to, I don't like being here and I want to go home. It's not about me, it's about everybody else. I got to put all my stuff aside.
Hold on a second. This is a guy who has a frickin' clue. Thank you. You're awesome, man. No, seriously, you're awesome. That would drive me nuts. I'd be like a little friggin'. I'd be a pretzel, man.
Yeah, well, I have a cottage on Go Home in Muskoka, cottage country. So we're used to living out of 10 by 10 sheds and having wood stoves. And getting by, with mediocre supplies. And so if anything, it makes you stronger.
You're a bit of a survivalist anyway, huh?
It doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
I love you, man. Hey, is there a way people can get a hold of you, follow your story, or?
Well, I tried to stay away from social, so I do.
Down here 15 minutes. But coming down here is a totally different energy, different vibe. Come here. This is legit what I tell people. Come down here 15 minutes, talk with just a few people, and then make your own and formulate your own opinions. Talk to just 15 minutes.
If we had a truck, we could live here as well.
But we do live in Ottawa.
Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
There's a lot of people that can't, so that's why we got to be here for everybody else.
Yeah.
So you guys live in Ottawa. Now, I understand that the citizens of Ottawa, or at least some of the citizens of Ottawa, are not very happy with the horns and the congestion and the things that have come about. How do you guys feel? How do you weigh in?
Well, those same people are the same people who have come downtown and haven't seen it for themselves. So my sister had a conversation with a couple of girls the other day, and they basically said they had a doctor's appointment that they didn't end up going to because it was downtown and they were afraid of being attacked.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, that's
You mean downtown, like where we are right now?
Yeah, where we are right now. They're afraid of coming downtown, so afraid of being attacked.
Because media is lying, and people are believing the media.
Media's lying.
Again, that's why I tell people, come down here 15 minutes, talk to people, make their own opinions. Like, you don't have to believe the media or me.
Get out into the real world and all of a sudden look around.
With your own eyes, you got it, buddy. Okay, the audio's real quiet. I'm gonna go. Beautiful.
Sure.
We don't want to
Let
be.
you watch
That was not.
We're gonna
No.
Good to see you, folks.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock p.m.
Right. Which they haven't been doing. They have not blown the horse since. And it.
Actually, I didn't have this originally, but I just mounted it. And by the time I got it mounted,
What, the horn? Oh,
yeah, the horn here. They let me know that we're trying our best to do negotiations, so we're giving Ottawa
10 days, I think. I do understand. I learned today it's a 10-day moratorium.
And that's we're not against the vax, we're against the vax mandate.
There you go.
Yeah.
They want the mandates dropped.
Yeah,
they don't care what decisions people make.
Mandate the vax passports, we're against vax.
Yeah.
No one wants. It's like my body, my choice. To each one, it's their own, their choice what they want to do.
Yeah. Free will is still a thing. I do understand. Huh? Yeah. All right. You guys are great. All right, man. Good stuff. Yeah. Take care. All right. If you want to see you guys on the internet, go to the Church of Bubbles on Church of Bubbles. The bubble bus? Yeah. That's the bubble bus. So Church of Bubbles, on outer space originally, but most recently Oshawa. Yeah. Okay. See you guys.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. Good night. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at 7.